I didn't realise you were a pussy and used that heavier leader when it came to bait fishing. Hello everyone, welcome to The Deep Drop. This is a fishing podcast with me, Luke McCredden, and this guy over here, Adam Ring. Adam, welcome. And before anything, for God's sake, explain to the good people out there listening what the hell this podcast is all about, please.
I'm going to explain it perfectly. I've got a list, so listen carefully. This is what the Deep Drop podcast is. I guarantee you will not able to go anywhere on the internet and find the following. What should you do if you need to take a shit on someone else's boat? Barbecue shapes, raspberry Mars bars, Humpty Dumpty Easter eggs. If you know, you know. Why your 82 kilo tuna isn't a barrel. Fishing is and will be an arena sport. And how can we make fishing club comps more like the NBA?
Yeah.
We answer all of those things and more.
Yep.
Actually, answer is kind of a loose way of putting it.
Yeah.
We tackle every single one of those things and more on the Deep Drop podcast, and I challenge you, and I'll wait.
Yeah.
Go and find somewhere else on the internet where you can find that sort of content.
Yeah. Nah, well done. Well done. I mean, that's pretty much it right there. And, there's a challenge in all of that. And that challenge is to wrap your head around it and how that's a thing.
Good luck. Good luck.
But it's fun. And let's just reiterate, it's just fun, mate. This is what we do. Fun. We've had fun since episode 1. We're at episode 130. We've had endless amounts of good ideas / ideas.
Some shit ones.
We've had amazing people on the show to date. And
plenty more on the horizon.
Plenty more on the horizon. It's getting out of control, the people we're connecting with at the moment, ads, and I'm pretty bloody pumped if I'm not. But the other thing is we've introduced new things along the way. So if you're familiar with early doors, so if you're one of the OG listeners out there, first of all, thank you, tip of the cap to you, because it's been a long journey and we know there's a big group of the community ads that have been there since day one, and we bloody appreciate it. But the format's slightly been tweaked over the last couple of years, and hopefully in a good way. But we've seen the introduction of bloody management.
Fuck me.
Seen Top 6 has been a 2025 thing, which, it's been fantastic. The engagement and feedback from you guys out there, from the controversial ones like the Powerade flavours to the ones that people have got on board with in a really positive way in, ice creams.
Ice creams, yeah.
So there's going to be some questionable ones. There's going to be some solid ones. There's going to be some definitive ones. But the beauty is you jump online and have your say. And that's where to do it. So if you're new here, welcome. It's great to have you on board. We hope you can, stay with us for a while. And if you want to jump back and have a listen, there's a good archive there and plenty of episodes on Spotify and other podcast platforms. But the social channels and pages is where you can get in touch with us directly and also interact and engage in the activity that we get up to, Adam. So Instagram's a great one.
Yep, Instagram.
The YouTube. And even Spotify. You can jump on and comment these days as well as follow the podcast. But the one that's getting a bit of momentum and my challenge for the community is get on board and just get on the train is TikTok.
No shit.
Well, we didn't think we'd be doing...
Mate, I don't have a TikTok account.
No, but you're on it, mate. You are well and truly on it. So you're featuring heavily.
How good's the internet?
Listen, we're not TikTokers, but we're trying to spread the word of the Deep Drop and have some fun with as many people as we can. So that's a channel we just kicked off, I suppose, this year, and we know it's not a big one for us yet, but get on board, share it, tell your mates, get on. The more the merrier. Ultimately, the more you guys get on and support these channels, the more we can do. And we have got some pretty awesome stuff coming up. So there's my challenge for everyone, is to get out there and support the social pages. And the other one, of course, is the website ads. Thedeepdrop.au is where you can head over and check out episodes and a bit of info about us. And, of course, jump on the merch. Now, before you do your thing, because this is your sort of, I suppose, only job on the show is to do an ad read for the merch. I just want to shout out, there were a couple of orders over Easter. There's been a bit of a delay, in just shipping and postage because it's Easter, and B, in just getting some of those orders out. So massive shout out for the patience, everyone who have placed orders through the last, couple of weeks really. But they're all on their way now. They're all gone and on their way. So appreciate the patience with the postage delays. But anyway, the merch we're talking about, Adam, is
the combo. Not a Rod and Reel combo, not a Macca's meal combo, but the combo.
Yeah.
We're talking cap and stubby holder. Now,
Nice.
Luke, what makes this combo a cut above the rest? It's the comfort of the cap.
Yeah.
Holds my head beautifully.
Yeah.
Just grips nicely. It's a pleasure to wear. And then combo that up with the stubby holder. And we've been through this before. I'm going to say it again because it's just the truth and that's all we try and spit here.
Yeah.
It makes every drink the best drink you've ever had.
Yeah.
And it's not a lie. It's no bullshit. It's not a gimmick. It's just fact.
This is fact. Cold, hard fact. Now, Ads, I know this is an audio podcast, but you and I have been rocking the deep drop cap for the last couple of months. I've lost mine. I've misplaced it. I've been wearing it. I've been wearing it heavily over the last few weeks. I've got a feeling it's in the garage somewhere with a bunch of other fishing gear. So I feel nude. I'm just going to say it. So I haven't been able to rock the deep drop cap tonight. However, I'll go find it, as dirty as it may be, because it's had a workout on the water for the last couple of weeks. Let's put it that way. There may be some scales on it, some squid ink on it. There might
The lucky deep drop cap.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I just want to now get on to, so the deepdrop.au, get yourself a cap and stubby holder combo, and we'll cover the freight ads. Fuck it. Why not?
We're just that, it's those type of people,
Yeah,
really.
that's those type of people. I mentioned the community that are getting involved, and I mentioned TikTok. I just wanted to give a shout out to a few legends on TikTok this week who not only embraced and supported the arena fishing concept, but got involved and added to it with some ideas.
Oh, yes.
I just want to just touch on a couple before we really get stuck into this episode. Broncos, Bros and Hoes said 100%, 5 Olympic pools full of GTs, tons of structure, 1 kilo line and surface lures per angler, highest combined weight in 2 hours fishing. I mean, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, there is.
Not sure about 1 kilo
even
line.
Just his username.
Yeah, solid.
Okay, noted.
This is mind-blowing. Sorry, this is blowing my mind. Said, thank you, I'm going fishing now. You G me up too much. Yes, it is. That's how we felt. What about this one from Nath3438? What if the stadium is an aquarium so you're under the water? So viewing platforms underwater? Come on.
That's the VIP section.
That's VIP section. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, dude,
That's it.
could it be in the middle? So it's almost like you pop up in the middle of it. Yeah.
Like one of those pillar type.
Yes. Lounges, everything.
I think this.
Yeah. All right. What about Damp Cat 42? Hear me out. MCG filled up. Do a Murray Cod comp. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hard yes.
Cricket can fuck off for the summer. We're filling it full of water.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there was just more ideas about doing the live stream type comps, and each person has is streaming what they're doing. Desiree, friggin' awesome idea. Love it. So, support there, new ideas in there, and this is what it's about. So get on board.
This is exactly what it's about.
If there's something there that tickles your fancy, arena fishing tickles everyone's fancy, let's be honest. What a concept. So thank you. This is what it's all about. All right, so get involved in all of that. We love it. Now, drink of the week. As we kick into gear for episode 130, it is time for drink of the week. What have you got?
I've gone back to the standard mid-strength.
Yeah, okay.
Listen, not going to lie, got swept up in Easter. Didn't really... I wasn't prepared, Luke.
Yeah.
So I grabbed what was in the fridge, and it was just a nice, easy, handy mid-strength beer.
And that's what drink of the week's about sometimes, just grabbing what's available.
Yeah.
Now, ads and listeners, you might hear in my voice I am sporting some form of cold situation at the moment. So I've ducked into Dan Murphy's just on brand and grabbed myself an old school Carlton Cold.
Oh, no.
Yeah, just
Carlton Cold.
Yeah, Carlton Cold because I've got a bit of a cold. I thought, why not? Maybe it's... Yeah.
Just have a quick sip for me. And when's the last time you had a Carlton Cold and first impressions?
Ooh, yeah, I was probably 16. Last time I had one. And it still tastes a bit average. From memory, they were cheap and nasty back then.
Yeah, but I don't remember them being nasty. They were the
go-to.
They were the 6-pack of choice when everyone would meet down at the park in the middle of the night.
Yes, correct.
And it's I haven't had one in a long time.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Like
Stick with the midstream.
But I'll plow. I'll push through.
Just grind on through.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking hell. Yeah. Maybe it's the cold and flu tablets talking. Anyway, so bear with me. Hopefully I'm not too annoying to listen to through the speakers. But so there you go. Thank you everyone again for getting involved in all of that, including drink of the week. If you've got a drink that you want to suggest, and there's still a few there that we're warming into, flick it on through. Now, just as we get stuck in something that's been doing my head a little bit in this, I suppose the last couple of months is the fact that it's been a bit of a shitter of a trout season. Is that fair to say?
Correct. Very fair to say.
And I know that you've spoken about cormorants and the is that a thing and all that sort of stuff. But reality is, regardless of all of that, it's just been a bit of a stinker, and it's annoying. It's frustrating. However, I'm not opposed to having one last crack before most of the rivers close up for the season. But I don't know. I just wanted to get your take on trout as a season, because it's and for most of Victoria, New South Wales, there is a closure. But has it just been a shit one?
Yeah, it's been shit, and I've been thinking about it because, unfortunately for me, a fair chunk of my livelihood is selling trout lures. So that's been rough. Yeah. But trying to work out what the hell's going on. My question to you, Luke, is how long do the rivers need to be shit before we just go trout fishing in a lake? Because
that's not a bad question, actually. Took a minute to sink in, but...
Because... Yeah. I don't hear too much of places like Bull and Marai, like Purrumbete, Jindabyne, Dartmouth, Eildon. What's the go?
When was the last time you heard Eildon referred to as a trout fishery? Real talk.
Probably 8 to 10 years.
Yeah. It's not a trout fishery anymore. It's a cod fishery. But it's a good trout fishing.
But there's good trout in there. So when do we think about doing that?
I'm not a great one to ask that question to, because it's not even on my mind. It's not even front of mind. Why?
I don't know. And this is the thing. Why? I think maybe because trolling is boring as fuck.
Yeah, and even land-based, you don't feel like you're really covering much of the water, are you? Like, you just feel like you're just flicking the edge. And
which is weird, because if you're in a boat, you'd be casting at the edges.
No, it's that same old bloody thing, isn't it? So, I suppose a question on top of your question is, at what point do we just go, I'm going to hit the lake? Or what point do we just go, I'm just going to the river to see what happens?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's been plenty. Oh, I'm not sure. There has to have been plenty that have gone to have a look.
Yeah, for sure, because as anglers are just curious people, and if trout's your thing, you're not going to be pushed away for a whole season, are you? You're going to go and have a bit of a look. And listen, straight off the bat, Robbie Alexander, a couple of guys on YouTube, they've been getting trout.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was about to say. We must preface by saying, okay, we've said it loud and clear that the trout season in the rivers has been shit.
Yep.
That doesn't mean there's zero trout.
Exactly. Shit comparatively to previous years, or, maybe that's what we should be saying, really.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, below average.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because Well, that's the other thing too. Water levels are low. Doesn't necessarily mean they're all dry.
No,
There's
just
still
low.
water.
Yeah. So what do you do?
So I've taken a positive out of this straight away.
Good.
No, I have. We've just listed a few reasons and our honest take on the rivers.
Yeah.
And all I got out of all of that was we don't have to worry about fish in the lakes. It's probably still a fair...
Is that a reflection? Is that a reflection on how you and I rate lake fishing? Unfairly, by the way, where we've gone, it's the shittest trout season on memory, but I'm still willing to fish a river before a lake.
Is anyone scoping trout?
They'd come up on the scope, as in you pick them up. Oh, you mean like targeting trout with a scope?
Yeah, like live scoping for trout.
I'm straight up just saying, nah, I don't reckon.
I think I'm with you.
I'm not. Listen, I don't want to speak on behalf of anglers in Australia, but I don't think so.
I heard something that would be pretty cool a couple of weeks ago, and to be honest, I can't remember what species. I think it might have been barra.
Right.
How fun do you reckon it would be if we went trolling for trout with live scope, but while we're trolling, we turned the live scope backwards? So it's pointing back
at your
and
lures,
facing the lures.
That would be more fun.
So you could see the lures in the scope, but more importantly, you could see what the fuck's going on behind them.
You could see if a fish is coming.
I wonder how many fish would come and have a look at a trolled lure and go, yeah, nah. Like, I wonder what the strike rate
Well, I
would
mean,
be.
I wonder if you could pick, because obviously in some of those crater lakes you're talking about, that's one of the best methods of catching those big trout in particular is on a downrig out nice and deep. If you could scope that while you're trolling, because you're typically trolling pretty slow. I don't know what the normal sort of speed is, but it's slow as fuck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not going to get too much noise, I wouldn't have thought, in the in the sonar, and you'd just be picking up. If you could pick up your lure,
it would be pretty cool just to see what's going on.
Because imagine you're just sitting there, and it's, we all know trolling can get boring at the best of times, but if all of a sudden you see a fish just coming up on the screen. You're like, oh.
And I wonder how quickly it comes up. Like, does it come hammering up out of nowhere going, fuck yeah, nah? Does it come up nice and just sit behind for a little bit?
How long does it swim with it? And this is the thing that I think, well, even before LiveScope, to be honest, remember Al McGlashan used to do the Strike Zone DVDs?
Yes.
For kids playing along at home. A DVD is like a CD. Oh, wait, you don't know what that is either. It's like a PlayStation game that plays a movie.
You put it in a DVD
player. Yeah. What's that? Okay, don't worry about it. But I remember watching his Kingfish one. I can't remember. It might have just been Strike Zone Kingfish. I don't know. But and Kings would follow his live bait or live baits. Now we know for quite a while before they commit. Not always. Obviously, sometimes they'll just come and smack it straight away. But I'm assuming trout would probably do the same, would they? Or I don't know. Because one thing that LiveScope has taught us is. And we saw it, and we've spoken about it on the podcast before, where Lee last winter did a cod trip, and was scoping cod, and had I think he was using the Megabass Mag Draft, and saw it clearly in the scope, and then you saw the cod follow it for a fair while, and then started swimming up following it as it got closer to the boat. So, be pretty cool to see. It'd actually be pretty cool to see how long any fish follows a trolled lure or live bait, wouldn't it?
It would be awesome. So we've come up with the first part of making trolling fun. How long do you reckon that fun actually lasts?
I'm still questioning whether it's even fun at all. But
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
No. I'm in. I'm willing to have a crack. I wonder if because I don't know. I think
is it even doable?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So scopers out there, and don't pretend you're not scoping. We're all friends here.
Scopers in the community, reach out.
Is it actually a thing? Can you just turn the scope on the pole like backwards and lock it? And can you actually see your lures?
Maybe
and
the boat going the way? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, don't know.
Okay,
it seems like a sweet idea.
Seems like a great idea. Could we just have a transom mount scope for trolling.
Ooh.
Fuck, did we just develop that?
We're innovators at the deep
Yeah,
drop.
fuck. All right. Jesus, we've done it again.
Right, put it on the list.
Yeah, all right. Or if I see that this year at iCast, I am going and having a word to them and making sure we get commission. Yeah. All right. Well, that's one way. But I still think what I was going to ask you about, a tough. Well, it's not even so much that it's tough, but a season that has been, as dry as it's been and warm as it's been, and you mentioned before rivers are lower, right?
Yeah.
Just generally speaking. What do you do with trout? Do you think about, because you've done a fair bit of trout fishing, right? So you've got your normal mindset if the rivers are at a, just inverted commas, normal level or whatever, but they're a bit lower, shallower, pools are more, I suppose, stand out a bit more because they're what do you do? What you go to? How do you tackle that? What's your sort of train of thought there?
Well, generally speaking, if I want to go and walk a river, I'm generally using some sort of bibbed hard body or a spinner or something that I'm putting up into a run and essentially slow winding out.
Yep.
If the water's slow but the pools have still got plenty of water in them, it's a great opportunity to slow everything down.
Yeah, yeah.
So pop a plastic on,
True.
really, really bump the bottom of those pools because I feel as though, and I could be way off track here, it's just my mind trying to put the puzzle together, but the trout can't really go anywhere efficiently anyway, so I dare say they're probably bunkering down to a certain extent. Maybe mooching on the bottom of the pools. I don't know.
Yeah, my mind goes straight to spinners and just banging spinners out because I've always felt like when I see a sort of the riffles, the rapids or whatever, you can just pump spinners down them and just smash them into rocks and stuff, and often pick up a rainbow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like
so even with that, even with the low water and not as much of the water pushing over the rapids.
Well,
you're still happy just to punch a cast up in there because there's still water flowing through them.
Still water flowing through them. Yeah.
The rivers aren't dry. We're sort of making it sound like
no.
There's like water doesn't exist in the fresh anymore, but it does. It's just lower than what we're expecting.
Yeah.
What we're used to.
Yeah. So that's where my head's at. But I don't know, and I'm certainly far from an expert. But where does your mind go, community, when you're tackling a tough weather-impacted fishery? Do you even bother? Do you get out there and think a bit differently, or do you just have a crack at what you know to cancel that out, that it doesn't work? Do you know what I mean? Like,
isn't it one of the hardest things in fishing though? Because it's easy to go, trout season's fucked. Let's not bother.
Let's not do it. Yeah.
But we all know you're going to learn more.
Yeah.
By having a go when it's tough, whether that be you're forced to explore water that you haven't been, you're forced to go a little bit higher or a little bit lower in any system that you haven't normally been, to try and find that water and do different things. This goes hand in hand with many conversations that you and I have had, even of recent times, Luke, when it comes to trying to work out what part of fishing are we in at the moment, as far as not just with trout, but just fishing in general. Where are we at? There's so many things that have happened. And we are, I think, stuck in this cycle of not catching is really not an option. As in, if you're not guaranteed to catch, or what you think is as close to guaranteed as catching as possible, you're just not going to know. You're not going to go. And I think that's something that's probably bred a little bit by the internet, bred a little bit by the access to so much content, whether it's YouTube, whether it's social media, whether it's podcasts, whether it's whatever. It's so easy to go and find someone who's prolific in something and make it look way too easy.
Yeah.
It's hard, and I'm guilty of it. I'm as guilty of it as anybody. Because do you know how many times I've been trout fishing this season?
None.
0.
Me too.
Do you know how many trips I've got planned? 0.
Well, maybe this is something we need to acknowledge tonight together, and at some stage before, start of June?
Yep.
We just need to go. And when I say we, we've got slightly different timelines at the moment as far as where we're at, and we just need to try and tick it off at some point. Go and at least have a flick. I think the thing is with what you were just saying, real talk for a minute, we all want to catch every time we go.
Every time.
And
not one.
Of course
we want to be catching more often than not.
Of course we do. But in the same breath, little secret for those at home playing along, if you don't already know. All the stuff you see on social media and YouTube with all the catching, it's not fucking how it goes.
No, it's not.
It's not how it goes.
You got no idea how many hours go into those captures. You got no idea when that fish was even captured.
No.
Just use it as motivation to go, and that's
enjoy
about
it. Watch it. Don't get me wrong. I don't really want to watch a video on YouTube or on TikTok or something where it's just whining in seaweed.
Nothing.
Yeah. But I want to see
because Luke, we would be social media fucking superstars.
Can you imagine the epics?
If it was about just learning as you go and figuring it out, we'd be all right. Because I sure as shit haven't fucking nailed the catching part of it.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm just sorry. I'm getting sidetracked from it again. But you just mentioned something there. Figuring it out and learn as you go and having a crack and having a bit of fun along the way. I actually would fucking watch that because that would be real. And I'm just going to put it out there right now and say there is nowhere near enough of that. The real stuff. I'm not saying that I want to watch just learning and no catching and no action.
Nothing. Yeah.
But what was the last time you saw something on YouTube or something where it's just like we're having a crack today, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but we're going to have fun along the way.
It's hard to get right as far as entertaining.
Yeah.
I get 100% what you're saying. I would almost be intrigued to watch a video that said, here's 16 and a half minutes of me catching nothing but having a ball doing it.
I know, and I get it. It's not.
I'd be intrigued to watch.
It doesn't sound like fun, but it's just a thought. I mean, anyway. I'd like to see a bit more of the journey and some of the stuff that's out there at the moment. But that also takes creativity. So if that's not there, then I'm not going to see it. All right. So yeah. Okay, so we're saying we're suggesting have a crack. Let's not write it off.
Everybody just pump the brakes and don't panic. We don't have to go lake fishing just yet. No. I think it's worth sticking the rivers out a little bit more. Air temperatures are starting to cool down. Therefore, water temperatures that we could have a really nice. I'm not going to say it'll be the best run of trout ever for this back end of the season, but it can't be. I think it will improve. I think naturally, just with the environmental conditions.
Yep.
Especially if we do get a little bit of rain, maybe just enough to push some water over some of those rapids.
That might be all we need.
Could be all we need.
All right, mate. I'm with you. I'm going to have a crack.
All right, I'm coming because you have a crack.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk behind and count how many cormorants we see.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. All right, let's do that. That's So what we're saying is trout fishing is still a thing.
Definitely still a thing.
We think
in the rivers.
We think in the rivers.
Yeah, they're pretty sure they're still there.
Yeah. Well, where would they go? Sea run. Well, maybe they've just fucked off to sea.
Sea runners. Maybe we should be walking the beach. Do I need to adjust my?
Should we just double
resolution?
Check? Yeah, 2 kilo trout.
Do I need to take off these metal slugs and put on spinners?
Do we need to double check with our friends in WA that those actually are salmon on the beaches over there?
I'm not sure if there's some sort of weird like salmon cobia hybrid or salmon like Samson fish. They're massive. What's going on over there is just ridiculous.
It's out of control. I'm hearing best salmon run in 5 years is what the locals are saying. Some of the locals are saying. That's pretty good.
This way a little bit.
Yeah, no, they won't because that current goes north.
I've got a reso to knock off.
Yeah. You really need that current to shit itself and come backwards.
100% I do.
Yeah.
I need a few stragglers.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Anyway,
a couple of
I've got a plan for that one.
a couple of them that really just struggle and they've just gone backwards. They just don't quite know what planet they're on. Anyway. All right, good. So get amongst the trout. Let us know. Let us know if you are. Maybe you're in amongst them already. So this is where you
give
guys
us a first-hand account of what the rivers are actually looking like at the moment, because we've heard everything.
Okay,
we've heard everything. We need the community to get out there and get on the ground and tell us what's happening.
That's it. Community trout reports.
Yeah,
that's what we're calling for.
Yep.
All right, good. I'm just writing that down because
inspire us to go trout fishing.
Well, anyone who's new here knows that a lot of the time we write the ideas down after we've said them. So it's you might wonder what I'm writing down. It's stuff just so I know what to refer back to. Ads, I do have a note here from management again. Says it's actually just a note saying play the file. So there's a file queued up. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay. I've hit the streets again.
Oh.
Well, last time was a bit of a debacle because he just went down the market.
Surely he hasn't gone back to the market.
I'd like to think that he's gone at least near water. You know what I'm saying? Like to go fish where the fishermen might be. Anyway, let's play it.
Play the file.
Let's see how it goes.
Righto, the boys told me I need to get a bit closer to the water. So here we go. Here I am. Let's find some more people to talk to and hopefully get more sense out of them than the bloody last time I tried this. Yeah, excuse me, sir.
Hi.
I'm from the podcast called The Deep Drop.
What is it?
The Deep Drop. I just thought I'd ask you a few questions.
Oh, is that like a diving podcast?
No, it's fishing.
Fishing? Oh, no thanks. Thought it might have been a diving one.
Righto. Yeah, wrong crowd here. All right. Excuse me.
Where you going, mate?
Have you heard of the Deep Drop Fishing Podcast?
Oh, nah, mate. Can't say I have.
Yeah, it's a fishing podcast and it's hosted by Luke and Adam. They do a top 6 every week. And
are they those fucking guys that are on fucking TikTok and that?
Yeah, that's it. On TikTok there. And
nah, they're fucking idiots, mate. They reckon fucking Powerade orange is the best fucking flavour. They're fucking.
Oh, okay. Righto. This isn't going all that well again, is it? What about you, mate? How you going?
Wait, who are you?
I'm from the Deep Drop Podcast. It's a fishing podcast.
What's a podcast?
Well, it's a something you listen to. Oh God, I think I've got the wrong bloody crowd again here.
You're a weirdo.
Well, that's not all that nice. I'm just trying to ask a few questions.
Just go away, you creep.
Yep, fair enough.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have it, Ads. He hasn't quite worked out where to find the anglers to talk to about the Deep Drop podcast.
I've got a controversial take here, Luke.
What's that?
I don't think we should give him any constructive feedback because I feel as though these constant fuck-ups could be funnier than him actually walking around interviewing a fisho.
Oh, so you're kind of thinking that we...
Just let him go.
Let him go.
Yeah, it's great, mate. It's great. Like, quality.
He might need to be careful. Like, if he hits street talk and hits the wrong part of town, he might get a bit of a
And this is why we need to just...
let him go.
Just let him go. Just give. Okay, I'll be fair. We'll offer him a little nudge. I feel as though this is too good to shit can straight away.
Right.
It's an opportunity for me to just mess with him a little bit.
Okay.
I'd really like to see how he would react to a little bit of a compliment from me. I wonder if he would...
Oh. Now, people playing along at home who aren't familiar with the history of the relationship between Adam and our management, it's been rocky.
Oh, I hate the...
Okay.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it, Luke.
Nah, it's great. it's fair. Like, that's how you feel. I'm not going to tell you how to feel. Yeah, okay. All right.
So let's just...
rocky was an understatement.
Yeah, you're underselling it a little bit. I'd like to see how he reacts to that.
I thought you were going to give him a compliment. You said you were going to give him a compliment.
Oh, not yet. I'll
Right.
wait till he's in the room.
Right.
And then I'll just just roll with it. Let him
All right.
let him go. I want to see how long it takes him to figure out that this is a fishing podcast and we like to hear from actual fishermen. Let's just see how that goes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. No direction, just off he goes.
No, just that's good, mate. Keep going.
Keep
it
going.
up.
All right. Hey, I've got a question for you, actually. I was thinking about this the other day. I was tying on a new leader to head out whiting fishing, something pretty basic. But I was thinking about this and I thought I might bring it to the table to get your thoughts, Adam, but also the community's thoughts, because I think, we know that leader, whether it be mono, fluorocarbon, wire trace for that matter, is a very important part of what we do and the species we target. But I think there's obviously a percentage of people that take that element very, very seriously. But then there's the rest of us that probably just think we've probably got in our head the leader sort of strength, I suppose, that we use, but we don't really think. It's just like this natural sort of you know what I'm saying? So like if I said to you, Adam, what leader do you tie on for snapper? You would say
£40. Are we bait fishing or lure fishing?
Oh, let's say
It makes a
bait fishing.
difference.
Bait fishing.
£40.
Okay. What leader do you tie on, Adam, for brim fishing?
£6.
What leader do you tie on, Adam, for chasing kingfish?
Don't. 60?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
What leader do you tie on for chasing squid?
Oh, 10.
Yeah. How much thought is there in that as opposed to the automatic just tie it on because it's... And when I say that, you've obviously thought about it over the years, but it's become your constant, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
how often does that £10 for squid become 6 or 8 or 12?
Never.
That's where I'm sort of going.
And I have a general rule of thumb when it comes to... So you actually brought up a real good one there. So kingfish. I have fished for kingfish. You can count on one hand how many times I've fished for kingfish. So I haven't established my go-to leader. So if I'm not sure, if I'm targeting a species that I'm targeting for the first time or haven't targeted much at all and I'm not quite sure, there's one rule to live by.
What's that?
What's the heaviest you can fish for that it doesn't make an arsehole of itself hammering through the guides?
Yeah. Yep. So heavier.
And I can tie an FG knot, so it's not crazy, but I don't really want to spend 2.5 hours a night before tying a string of FG knots.
No.
So sometimes I just want to do a dirty back-to-back uni.
There's nothing wrong with that, mate.
So, and admittedly, the majority of my fishing's on the lighter side of things.
Yep.
So generally speaking, for me personally, I know anything above £8, I'm gonna have to maybe think twice about tying a back-to-back uni. So I tend to fish lighter than that.
Yeah. So it's got nothing to do with the leader. It's actually
Not
the
really.
knot and your laziness. No. But I'm just curious, and I think that...
It's a great question though, and the concept is actually brilliant because for fishing at a snapshot, a glimpse, it is loaded, absolutely loaded with these little things that are just the norm.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so I'll turn it back to you. If you're having a tough session, I'll reword it. If you're having a tough session, at what point does it enter your brain or your strategy to downsize your leader in order to get a bite?
That's a great
And it's a
question.
two-parter, so start with that, and then I've got another one for you.
It's, being honest, it's a fair way down the chain. It's a fair way down the list of things that I'd change up. It's almost like, let's say, what's an example? I guess the thing is, I would go through a dozen different lure styles before I'd even think about the leader.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I'd even
Definitely.
I'd even look at jig heads and hook gauge and stuff like that before I'd think about the leader. Now that might be a complete detriment to my fishing, but it's not how I think at the moment. And I'm wondering, I guess, It's a great one because it's in addition to the original question. I wonder how many of you guys out there listening, where it sits in your hierarchy of what to do, of things to change to get a bite.
So the second part for you, have you ever gotten to a point, or what point do you need to get to? Are you willing to sacrifice potentially your only bite for the day to go light enough to even get the bite? Because this is actually something that I'm wrestling with now.
I think so. I think if that's what it came down to, and you tried everything, and you went, you know what? I reckon it's the leader. Like I reckon we've got to go really finesse and get, get nice and quiet in there, and you put on 2 pound, knowing that you're about to get towed up in the timber, if that's what it takes to get a bite. Because there's every chance you can pull it out, but there's more of a chance you won't.
So if you say you went with that, say you and I were doing a trip, we're brim fishing and it's tough, like it's proper tough. Yeah. And you decide to go down to 2 pound, you get the bite and pop it. After that fish that you've just busted on 2 pound, do you go, fuck yeah, I know they're here and they're eating, I'll go back and tough it out with 6, 8, 10? Or do you go, I'm just going to have to keep popping them off, hoping that one swims the other way?
Probably. Oh, I think you'd probably go back a bit because you go, all right, bite, tick. Now, at what point? Where's the threshold?
Because I'm wrestling with this at the moment because I have been trying to knock over one of my monthly resolutions. And at the moment, I do have a rod that's got 3 pound fluorocarbon.
You got to. The bite's the key.
It's tied on.
You just need the bite.
Yeah, and I haven't, truth be told, I haven't hooked anything to even work out how to manage 3 pound leader. Yeah. I've got an idea. I know exactly what I want to do, but it's so far out of the norm for me to do it. Yeah. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to get a bite and I'm going to slip straight back into an old habit and I'm going to strike hard and it'll be over.
Yeah. Because you are a hard striker.
I am.
We've said that on the show before.
We've established this.
But do you know what's really weird now that I think about it? When I go out, whether it's something as simple as whiting or squid, or it's brim, or it's estuary perch, or it's heavier stuff, in my tackle bag, I've got multiple strengths of leader. I take it. Why?
Yeah. Do you ever change out on the water? Have you ever cut off a leader or snagged and busted and gone, I think I need to downsize?
No. I genuinely don't reckon I have. I don't.
Same. I don't think I've ever done
Maybe
it.
there's been time. I can't think of it right now. But so why am I taking 6 different strengths of leader?
I don't know.
I'm literally just looking at my bag now. It's just down here. I was out the other day and I've got 4 pound, 6 pound, 8 pound, 10 pound, and 12 pound.
What did you have on?
8.
And did you ever change it?
No.
This is why fishing's the best. Then this is why being a fisho and a gear junkie is the best. So here's another one for you, right?
Yeah.
You said snapper, and just very briefly after answering, I asked for bait fishing or for lure fishing.
Yep.
Why does that make a difference? And let me paint the picture for you. If I go bait fishing for Port Phillip Bay snapper, I'm going to rig all of my bait rods with 40 pound leader material that isn't fluorocarbon.
Wow. Okay. This is interesting.
Yep. But if I'm going to chase the same sized fish in exactly the same areas with soft plastics, I'm starting with max 15 pound fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
So the stationary bait that I'm leaving on the bottom where the snapper literally has all day to look at it is going to be looking at the thicker leader, and I don't see it to be a problem. Yet if someone said, "Oh, here, use my soft plastics rod. It's got 40 pound mono leader tied on it,"
you'd go,
"Fuck off, mate!
Fuck off, mate! Cut that off."
Oh,
it's
why?
interesting.
Why?
Well, there's two things there. One is I didn't realise you were a pussy and used that heavier leader when it came to bait fishing. Secondly,
constantly learning things about each other. on this
Yeah, I know
program.
it's magnificent. But secondly, yeah, no, I am with you because even I think in my
What are you tying for bait fishing? Just out of curiosity, for
20,
snapper.
20,
20.
yeah. The fuck do you need 40 for?
I don't know. It's just what I've done.
And you know what? That's not even heavy when it comes to most people in Port Phillip Bay. I reckon the 60s and 80s getting around, no problem at all.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, but you're right. And I wonder if there's other species like that.
Because
I'm trying to think
Because if I put down a bait rod with 14-pound fluorocarbon on it, I'm like, oh, I'm fucked here. I'm just going to get bitten off.
Yeah, which is weird.
It's weird.
Because you're not, mate.
I know.
Yeah, no. Look, it's one I just wanted to bring to the table because I genuinely just think we've got this automatic, and it's not. Look, it probably goes for mainline. It probably goes for hook size. Like it's just like the hook size for snapper. Go
5-0.
5.0. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
have you ever thought about it deeply enough to go, geez, I reckon if I use a 4.0 and like bring some more variables into it, but 5.0.
Well, that's an even
long shank
stranger
size for
conversation.
whiting. Long
6.
shank 6, yeah. So,
Yeah.
unless it's a circle and then it's a
1.0
1.0.
KL, which is equivalent to a 6 in everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's just a sad sign that we fish together way too often or not enough.
It's weird though because I can give you the theory. So going back to snapper, I can give you a theory or a situation when you would use a 3.0 or a 4.0.
Yeah.
I never would.
What about when you think about... See, this is where it's weird, right? If you think about lure hooks,
Yep.
think about something like a Lucanus jig back in the day, or some of those smaller sort of style slow pitch jigs even. Mate, they're nowhere near at 5.0.
Okay, I've never thought of this, and I've just had a light bulb moment.
Yeah.
So using snapper, we use 5.0s on everything.
Yeah.
Whether it's a 4-inch pilchard or a 6-inch silver whiting, two very differently built fish.
Yeah.
We'll use the same hook. In particular with the pilchard, the way we rig it, you essentially mangle the piss out of the bait just trying to fit the hooks into it. By the time you put the first hook through and bring it all the way through the body, and why don't we fish with like a Lucanus style thing where we just clip it under the flesh?
I don't know. Is it one of those, it's just the way we've always done it type situations?
Maybe. Do you think if we used a hook that was... So I'm trying to think. Say a Lucanus style or a flutter jig assist style hook.
Yeah.
What size do you reckon that would equate to in a standard octopus snapper hook? Do you think
honestly-
it would be like a size 1?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Maybe
like those
smaller?
Lucanus jigs, and I know we keep referring to Lucanus, but it was just what came into my head before, but those hooks were small and sharp. The key is sharp, right?
Yeah.
But they were like a 1.
So if I was to go snapper fishing with you and I busted out a snelled rig with number 1 hooks on
Yeah.
it,
I'd
You'd be
go,
like-
oh, you're flathead fishing. Cute.
why are you snelling hooks
That's
for
what I'm
flathead,
saying.
mate?
Yeah. Why are you trying to catch undersized fish for? Yeah. But even, I don't know. It's just,
It's a weird one.
And look, a lot of it is to do with probably there is an element to do with probably the bait you're using too. So you're probably not going to pin 2 size 1 hooks in a full size pilchard or silver whiting, are you? Is it going to hold the bait? Well, it should, I guess.
If you can, because realistically, you only need to get it through the skin.
Yeah, and it should hold it. Half hitch the shit out of that tail.
Multiple half hitches.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
What else? I'm trying to think of other species in that same sort of vein. Like even, I mean, when you think about again, there's an array of lure combinations that you'd use for pelagics, like, whether it be, especially on jigged fish too, like even up north on coral trout, down
the jig
south
assist is small.
on kingfish, over in the west on all sorts of everything that they've got, snapper, kingfish, jewfish, like it kind of see, this is almost at its own conversation. The hooks that are on those lures a lot of the time, or jigs, you're not even probably thinking too much about. It's more the jig size, and you go, the hooks that are on it are on it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That is a wild one to think about.
Yeah.
We get precious about using a 5.0 hook when in the grand scheme of things, that's a big hook.
It is a big hook. It is a big hook. I
For
mean,
just
I would say,
general everyday fishing.
yeah. And like we've all used, I reckon, that have caught tuna on lures, probably smaller, like potentially 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 size hooks on some of those.
And why on some fish do we think of it completely different? So say a trout, for example.
Yeah.
Why do we insist on using a hook that's like tiny?
Well, this was
Is
an
it a bait
interesting
thing?
one.
Softer bait, smaller bait.
Well, the thing is with trout, and this is an interesting one. We were doing it's been some lure development happening in the background, and these lures came back as samples with hooks that and with some, I suppose, ground testing, field testing, came back the hooks were too small. Trout don't have tiny mouths, really.
No, and this is what I was alluding to. So
Yeah.
say you were going fishing for trout, drifting worms under a bubble float. Why don't we use like a 4.0 or a 3.0 octopus?
But why is it immediately a size 12?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Why is it a
Fucking
tiny hook?
Should be like.
Is it
yeah.
just trying to preserve the bait? Because we don't seem to give a fuck about preserving a pilchard.
Maybe
The softest
maybe.
bait on the planet.
Well, I mean, there is that. Like, you're not going to put a 5.0 on a
On
seltzer.
a mud eye.
Like even some of those looks, on a mud eye. The mud eye is just sort of sitting on top of the hook.
Do you think maybe because if you were to put a 3.0 single off the back of a spinner, the hook just becomes bigger than the lure itself, and
Yeah.
it's weird?
Pretty much.
Yeah, which I
think
get.
that's-
That makes sense.
That makes sense. And that's why I guess that things like Lucanus, again, going back to that, have smaller hooks because they're not big lures.
Yeah, it's weird,
And they
though, 'cause-
blend with the tentacles and,
but
so-
they can be big because they wouldn't affect action. It's just a slow wind,
True.
steady wind.
True. Yeah, listen, this one's an interesting one. We've gone from leader sizes to hook sizes, but I think it's a really good conversation to have. So I'm curious to know from the community if you've got.
Give us your preferred species to target and what your automatic leader size is.
And hook size.
Yeah. Okay, we go hooks too.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So just watch it, and without even
So-
thinking,
so for
don't
example-
think about it. Just
Yeah.
say brim,
So
8 pound, 1.0.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Sizes and hook size. Again, just writing down on the fly. Yeah. No, it's good. Well, I want to give you one more. Well, actually, back on the leader thing. I thought of this before and I forgot to ask. What you recently did a trip up to Lake Mondrian. Big dam, impoundment, full of big barra. The bite was tough, you said that night.
Yep.
And you were with some very, very, very accomplished barramundi anglers. Was there discussion around leader?
There actually was, and I
was.
was silently blown away at the variance boat to boat in leader.
Right.
So we had everything from 80-pound fluorocarbon
80 pound, yep.
to 55-pound mono, not
Yeah,
leader
right.
material.
Wow.
Not leader material, just standard 55-pound monofilament line. It wasn't even clear. It was green.
Okay. Interesting.
So the barra one's difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the
So
same as
yeah.
if you and I were to go tomorrow to Lake Eildon cod fishing, chasing meat of cod, what leader would you take?
400-pound wire.
Nice.
Back
to back you.
I mean,
that son of-
that's a
What would you
That's
think?
not
What does
even-
your mind go to?
yeah. And let's just be really clear with this. I'm not a cod fisherman.
Well, I've never done it. I've never ever fished,
My
tried to catch a meat of what?
Yeah.
If you
My
and
first
I went,
reaction
so
is
we
to-
both haven't done it. What do
is
you
to
think?
text someone who knows what they're doing. But just straight
What-
off the bat, honestly, like, I don't know, like 50, 60 pound?
That's for some reason my mind went 60,
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
Don't know why. Yeah.
I don't know why. And I'm not sure it would be fluorocarbon. I don't know why.
Don't know why. I want to get into the fluorocarbon mono conversation another time, not tonight, because I want
That's
to dive
something
into it a bit.
put it on the list of things to do when we go fishing together next. Let's fish
Yeah.
fluorocarbon next to monofilament.
Yes.
Like I'm just talking a main line, like not even a leader
Oh.
material.
Oh, you're going fluoro full through, mono full through. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Now let's go leader. But let's have long leaders, so it's like a, you know what I mean. So let's
So
give it.
fluorocarbon versus
Mono.
standard monofilament leader.
Yeah, leader.
Yeah. So if we go brim fishing, I'll fish 6 pound leader material, and you're fishing 6 pound fluorocarbon.
Yeah, and we'll just measure to the
Just
fork.
see what happens. Yeah, because we're brim fishing.
That's another topic.
Partial length only.
Real time. I want to understand what the fuck the fork measurement is all about, and I know I might be missing something, and obviously clearly I am, but I've missed something along my journey in this industry that I cannot work out. Anyway, that's it. That's enough of that. Hey, Ads, I'm very pleased to say that we've hit a time, or I suppose a spot in the fucking hell. What am I trying to say? I think this Carlton Cold's ripping through me.
It's that Carlton Cold mixed with a couple of cold and flu capsules. It's just grabbed you by the bag.
I recommend it. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to try and introduce this. All I'm going to do is this.
The deep drop.
Top 6. That's a big statement right there. Big statement indeed. Top 6. The deep drop top 6 is back for another week. And I don't know about you, Ads, but the feedback we're getting on the top 6 has been as strong as anything we've ever done. We're hearing from a lot of people out there that aren't fishos, have no idea what a leader material is,
Nice.
let alone mono versus fluoro.
And you're
But they're
welcome
just-
into the community.
Absolutely. Come on in, because what we want to encourage is more people to go fishing. So some of these people might eventually pick up a rod because they go, platypus swim bait? Yes, please. If you know, you know. So over to you to introduce tonight's top 6 ads, because this is one of yours.
Yeah, I come across a situation just last night, actually. I decided that I really couldn't be bothered cooking anything for dinner, and it was just me. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go get a pizza.
Yeah, nice.
I love a pizza. I'm a massive pizza fan.
Yeah, I can't knock them. I mean, who doesn't? You know,
Cruised
who
down to
doesn't
the
love
pizza
one?
shop, stood in front of the board, and thought, holy shit. Don't know what I'm feeling.
There's a few up there.
And I thought, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect for the top 6. So, Luke, tonight, we are going top 6 pizza toppings.
Yes, this is gonna divide. This is gonna be the community are already on their toes about this one. I can feel it.
Just before we get into it, there's one question I have for you to start with.
There's a huge question. There's a huge question, and I think you're going to ask it. So go ahead.
Does pineapple belong on a pizza?
Now, I'm just going to say it, and people will agree. People will disagree. But like fishing, it's okay. I believe I'm happy with pineapple on a pizza.
Me too. But let me give you a real quick tip. So more than happy for pineapple to be on a pizza. But just going to throw it out there straight away. Ham and pineapple won't feature on my part of the top 6.
Okay. That's okay. It's all right. That's okay.
Because I think Hawaiian or ham and pineapple is one of the most boring pizza toppings on the planet.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah, and that's
And if
what
you
this-
do have it, because we go 1 for 1,
One
get
for
them
one.
to 6.
Yeah.
If you do have it, I might mock and ridicule you excessively.
All right. Well, let's get in because there's some good ones, mate.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want me to kick off?
Do you have you kick off? Do you have a clear number 1 for you?
Oh nah, because I do chop and change a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's not one that is the absolute every night, every day go to for me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. Okay, so number 1, Hawaiian.
Fuck off. Shut it down.
It is.
Done here. This is a top fucking 1.
It's got to be on the list, mate.
No, it doesn't.
This is where we.
So you're being serious? I thought you were just messing with me.
It has to be on the list, Adam.
Fuck no.
It's got to be
Out
one,
of every pizza topping that you've decided ham and pineapple is one of the 6 most interesting. Actually, no,
we
of
didn't.
the 3. One of the 3 because we picked 3 each.
Yeah.
Ham and pineapple is one of the 3 most interesting and glorious pizza toppings there is.
Well, I mean, interesting and glorious wasn't in the thing. It was just top 6. This has to be like as far as popularity goes. Hawaiian is easily in the top 6.
What is it part of your top 6? Your top 3?
Yeah.
You're only picking 3.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I thought you were better than that.
That's okay, but just put the knife down and move on. Like it's this
All
is
right.
never. This
All
is
right.
this is one that will divide a nation, and that's okay. We're allowed to have our opinions on this.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm not. Over to you. You might say something stupid like, "No, I'm not even going to say it. You go."
Well, I'm gonna play my first pick with a straight bat. Also, number 2, pepperoni.
Yeah, solid.
I think pepperoni for me is the choice when I really am fighting with what I want. I can just lean on a pepperoni, and I know it's going to be satisfying.
Nah, solid. Yeah, we're back. How hot? Like, are you a super hot salami sort of a guy, or just a mild?
No, just admire. Hot doesn't offend me. I don't mind a
Yeah,
few chili flakes on there.
but it's not.
I
Gonna
don't
make
want
or
it.
break
I
you.
don't want it. I don't want it like burn your ring out. hot.
Scalding. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No, the after effects of that's not pleasant for anyone.
No, definitely not.
Okay, cool. I think I can redeem myself.
All right.
Number 3, barbecue chicken.
Yeah, nice. Solid.
Yeah. Look, I'm a firm believer that chicken belongs on a pizza.
I'm with you, and I actually had barbecue chicken on my list. Now, truth be told, I don't have it often, but again, it's a beautiful change up for me.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably not one you're having frequently if you're a big pizza eater.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, we've referred to it. It's like the ginger, or, the fucking ginger
The what?
ale beer.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, ale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Nice. All right. Number 4, Mexican with olives.
Just adding that on there.
Yeah, because not
Talk
every
me through
Mexican comes
Mexican.
with olives. So Mexican, very simple pizza. So standard base, tomato sauce, salami, capsicum, chili flakes,
Yeah, okay.
and got to have olives on it.
Olives. Okay.
Yeah, and then bit of cheese
Is that
on that
for
too.
the most part when you're ordering, say you're online, I'll grab a large Mexican with olives? Like you're
Well-
throwing that in there every time just in case it doesn't come naturally with olives.
Well, I always check if it does because it's almost a coin flip depending on where you get your pizza from. Some of them will come olives standard and then it's almost a 50-50 split. Some won't. So if it doesn't have olives on it, I will request that you put olives on it because I'm a huge fan of olives on a pizza.
Yeah, okay. No, me too. Yeah, totally. I was just thinking about my next choice because there's a sort of a similar thing that I asked to have removed.
Oh,
Yeah. Number-
Hang on.
No, just
You're removing ingredients?
well, it depends because sometimes it comes with, sometimes it doesn't come with. I don't want it.
There's only one acceptable answer of something that can be taken off a pizza, and I take it away, my friend.
Okay. And forgive the pronunciation here because this is a, fence
I know what you're going to say, and it's on my list.
Number 5, capricciosa.
Yes.
Capricciosa?
Capricciosa, I think.
Capricciosa?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Without anchovies.
Yeah, nice. So, okay, 100% acceptable. 100% acceptable. I have been known to leave the anchovies on.
It's fucking disgusting, mate.
At times. I must admit, though it doesn't make me want to throw the pizza out, I've never had a big bite of a pizza that's got anchovies on it and gone, oh, that's fucking gross.
That's hit the spot. No, doesn't hit a spot for anyone.
Yeah. Okay. I'm very happy with the capricciosa choice.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Yeah, me too. Okay, over to you for number 6 and to round out the top 6 pizza toppings.
Number 6, meat lovers. I think it would be rude. I don't get it often. I think it would be rude to have a top 6 without meat lovers. Yes, and barbecue meat lovers. I don't think I've ever come across a meat lovers that doesn't have barbecue sauce on it.
Sort of just goes with it, doesn't it?
Yeah. So listen, I'll put it on. I'll put it on there because it feels a bit
Okay.
rude not to.
All right.
You have any honorable mentions?
Well, I'm not afraid to ordering a vegetarian.
Yeah, not offended by it.
No.
Not normally vegetarian anything I'm pretty offended by, but for some reason a vegetarian pizza is always quite tasty.
Do you ever go down the path of a gourmet situation? Or is it like, because what we've got here are your
Just your
very
stock
standard pizza toppings, which is fine, absolutely fine, and that's my first choice. But from time to time, when you come across a good pizzeria, the gourmet variety is not bad.
So you're talking gourmet as in like a standard pizza like the ones we've just listed with a little bit of a fancy / funky topping, or are you going full wood-fired like...
Wood fire. Absolutely. I mean, wood fire, anything. I mean, you'd even eat a wood-fired Hawaiian.
Probably would.
Yeah.
Probably would.
So no, I just mean the gourmet toppings and stuff. So usually they're
like a peri-peri chicken. Or,
and usually it's less dense. You know what I mean? The ingredients are a bit.
So they skimp a bit.
Yeah, but that's what they sort of
but
claim
that's
to make
okay.
it a bit. Yeah, that's okay. So Hawaiian pepperoni, barbecue chicken, Mexican with olives,
Correct.
capricciosa without anchovies,
Correct.
and meat lovers.
Yeah.
I feel like I've just placed an order. It'll be ready in 20.
Got a family bundle, 6 pizzas. They're like $78.
I'm happy with that. I mean, my gut says we should do a live show and order those 6 pizzas.
We should, and then
See what's.
the community could put them 1 to 6. All we'd have to do is calculate which one.
Wow.
We could actually come up with a number 1 to number 6. Because these are not in any particular order.
No particular order. I just they're just out there. But I think they're the most popular 6 pizzas. I don't know. What have we missed? Tell us.
Do you class margarita as an actual pizza?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that would be on there.
Because I class it more of a starter. It's like a.
No.
It's like a.
I'll have a large margarita to start.
It's like the one you just throw in front of everyone and everyone. And I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm not even knocking it. I'm not trying
to
talk down on a margarita pizza.
Yeah.
But it's like a garlic pizza.
Throw some
with no
spinach on
garlic.
the margarita, by the way, just to put a bit of colour in it.
Are you a little oregano sprinkle man?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, don't come at me with bloody, too much of the herb. You know what I'm saying?
Basil.
Yeah, whatever it is. But I reckon, looking at the list again, I reckon the marg would push out meat lovers.
Yeah, no,
You know what I'm saying?
I would be more than happy to put a margarita in for meat lovers.
Yeah. Where are you at with a dessert? Like a sweet pizza.
My kids absolutely froth on a
what do
Nutella
they get?
pizza. It's a
Nutella, yeah.
Nutella pizza, and
Yeah.
then it's got some sort of sprinkled arrangement of like little chocolate drops and strawberry for a
yeah,
bit of
strawberry.
sweet,
Strawberry
or
Nutella.
banana. But listen, not shit.
Yeah.
Probably not going out of my way to get one.
Yeah, fair. Okay. All right. Well, what have we missed? There's a good mix there. That's just a solid mix, a safe bet mix,
It's
and I think
I feel as though it's a safe list. I don't feel as though there's anything too controversial on there.
no. But let us know about the anchovies and olives type situation where you stand with it. But also, like I said, what have we missed? Where does your or rank them? You know what? We'll put this in our
No.
stories on Instagram, and we'll ask for we'll do a poll.
I want to
what we'll
know.
do.
I want to know what needs to be traded out. So don't just come in with, this. I can't believe that this isn't in there.
Yeah.
I need you to tell me what we're taking out of the top 6 to include your pizza that we forgot. I
Yeah, if
feel
I'm-
as though it's important for the pizza one. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just
No,
feel
it is. I thought if I'm the GM, I'm probably trading meat lovers for margarita
Yeah, no, I'd okay that trade.
and a draft pick. Like give a draft pick with meat lovers for a mug.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah. Okay, so you're include first round pick, second round.
Second round.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I'm down with that. I'd still okay that.
But I reckon there's going to be some interesting. I think what we'll find in the poll is the ones that the least voted on is the one that gets traded, sort of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So check that out and get involved because we want to know how we've gone with this. This is just our opinion, so everyone's got different thoughts on it. I feel like a pizza now. Yeah.
It's not too late.
Work on that. No, it's not too late. All right. So listen, keep getting involved like you have all week. It's been fantastic to hear from you guys, the community. Let us know if there's drink of the week that we should get amongst next week. We've got some work to do, but I don't want to tease it too much. But we've got some guests lined up, ads
We have.
that I'm excited. I know you're excited about.
I'm excited.
Let's just say there's some time zones to sort of work around.
Correct.
Once we get that sorted, we'll have them on.
Yep.
So please stay with us. Trout reports, tell us what you've been doing. The community trout reports, we're opening up the lines. Let us know how you've been going, if you've been going, what you've seen, what you're using that's getting a bite in what could be a low river.
Because we've heard about, there's been a lot of smack talked about trout season in the rivers. There's been a lot of weird theories on why it's potentially been a bit average. I need to hear from the community. We need to know.
Have you resorted to
I
lakes?
believe the community. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Surely, not yet.
Yeah, sure, not yet. And of course, tell us your species of choice and go-to leader size and go-to hook size without even thinking. If it's lures involved, don't worry about hook size.
Don't worry.
Just leader.
Leader. Yeah, leader.
Brim,
I like
8 pound. Squid, 10 pound. So whatever it is, just no thought, just think, just straight off.
do it.
Yeah, just do it. And then, of course, let us know about the top 6 pizza toppings. Adam, thank you very much for your input tonight. I think you've played well.
Thank you, mate. Happy Easter to everybody. We didn't acknowledge that. We are recording this just after Easter, so happy Easter. Hope you all had a nice, safe break. And a massive, massive shout out to everybody that took the 3 days annual leave and turned this into practically a Christmas break. Me being one of them. So, Luke, suck shit. You're working. I'm on holidays. Peace out.